Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The great question that has never been answered, and which I have not yet been able to answer, despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, is, what does a woman want? We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. Future ages will produce further great advances in this realm of culture, probably inconceivable now, and will increase man's likeness to a god still more. It is impossible to escape the impression that people commonly use false standards of measurement. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. It is that we are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love, never so helplessly unhappy as when we have lost our loved object or its love. He does not believe that, does not live according to his belief. When making a decision of minor importance, I have always found it advantageous to consider all the pros and cons. Life, as we find it, is too hard for us. It brings us too many pains, disappointments, and impossible tasks. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. Words are capable of arousing the strongest emotions and prompting all men's actions. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. The pleasure of satisfying a savage instinct, undomesticated by the ego, is incomparably much more intense than the one of satisfying a tamed instinct. One might compare the relation of the ego to the id with that between a rider and his horse. It is easy to see that the ego is that part of the id which has been modified by the direct influence of the external world. Analysis does not set out to make pathological reactions impossible, but to give the patient's ego freedom to decide one way or another. Children are completely egoistic. They feel their needs intensely and strive ruthlessly to satisfy them. Towards the outside, at any rate, the ego seems to maintain clear and sharp lines of demarcation. At the height of being in love, the boundary between ego and object threatens to melt away. Originally, the ego includes everything, where it detaches from itself, the external world.